My name's Patrick Barr. I'm a director in the Northern Ireland Audit Office, so essentially the National Audit Office based here in Belfast for Northern Ireland. I am CGMA and I am a CIMA Fellow and have been, I think, CIMA qualified in 2005. In terms of what's going on, we're in strange times, and I don't think any of us have experienced anything like this in our personal work lives before, and that brings with it a lot of challenges. So for me personally, I only started my new job about 2 weeks before the lockdown as a director in the office, and I found because of that it's been difficult to really get established. And when you start in a new job, you feel like you want to get established and build credibility and build a profile, and I've found that quite difficult by not being there. So not being able to see people on a daily basis and have coffee with them and talk to them and really just be visible. So how I've been trying to deal with that is trying to be visible, or as visible as I can. So being in people's day through video calls, through emails, through phone calls, and trying to be there as much as I can and feel like I'm linked to the teams. Another difficulty is the management of the teams themselves. So I have a number of different teams looking at different areas and trying to manage the workload of the teams, trying to make sure that we remain linked to our clients, our audited bodies, so our central and local government organisations in Northern Ireland. And that's difficult. So again, it's trying to be there, it's trying to be available for any questions and get involved as best I can. The difficulty around that is because I didn't have the relationships beforehand, myself and the senior team that work for me, really, we don't understand each other's ways of working, and we don't have those relationships that allow each other to know. So again, trying to build a relationship. So trying not to have everything not purely focused on transacting business. So at the start of video calls or at the end of video calls, we're just having 10 or 15 minutes for an informal chat, a cup of coffee, and just making sure that everything, that we're getting to know each other as well. And then the final challenge, or one of the things I'm feeling certainly, is because it's a new organization to me, the processes, the systems, the IT systems themselves, and then overall the culture of the organization. It's been difficult to pick those up quickly. So again, I've been having lots of calls with IT and trying to figure out the systems, but not being there daily and using them as often as I would in the office is difficult. And the cultural aspect, just knowing how things work in the office, because we're all removed and we're all working remotely, I can't really get a sense of that in the same way that I normally would. So again, it's just about trying to stay involved, trying to be available for people. Obviously, with this isolation, this new way of working, because we're all social creatures, we like to have contact. So in terms of levels of anxiety have increased, and we're seeing that not just in our workforce, but across the population. So we're sending people lots of kind of tips and updates on how to manage that. We've a really active kind of social aspect in the work that's still working remotely. So we have weekly quizzes and we have all sorts of things, and people are sending in photographs of their home working arrangements just to show each other how we're getting on and that sort of thing. So trying to stay close is really important. So it's a difficult time. It's hard for everyone, but there are likely changes that will come out of this that will be permanent. Even when this ends, we probably will go back to a new normal as opposed to our old normal, and we need all be ready for that. So hopefully everyone's staying safe and doing well, and looking forward to the disruption ending and getting back to business.